Ben Dror, as always, your long-term expertise much appreciated on our program here. But you've lived and covered this country, especially the conflicts, especially in Jerusalem, all these years. It was an emotional event, mixed emotions. I'll describe it in a moment here, Ben Dror. But how did you feel watching this display yesterday?
Okay, let me tell you what I'm trying to do in my very limited power is, first of all, to zoom out, and to remember the history of this very loaded city. I mean, it did not begin today. It did not begin a year ago. It began so many years before. I mean, of course, we can mention the Mufti. In that time, the Mufti Hazrat al-Husseini, who began with a blood libel of
about 100 years ago, correct? Yeah.
Exactly in 1929, when he began with Al-Aqsa is under danger, Al-Aqsa b'sakana, as we call it in Hebrew.
Right.
So, but there was not any danger in that time, as we can all remember. Now, it's not even because of Zionism, because if we go even more backward, we can go to 1847, wow. Blood libel in Jerusalem against Jews, and Jews again were the victim, nothing to do with Zionism, just because of being Jews. So even if I published myself, I can admit, a lot of articles against extremists, hooligans, sure. Among Jews, and unfortunately we do have them, I cannot blame them. I cannot only say, I don't like them, I don't like their, what they're shouting and screaming against Arabs, but they are not the majority. No. They are not the majority. And it would happen anyway, and because of what we see in history.
We'll have a lot more, I want to pick your brain and get a lot more thoughts on the events we saw yesterday, the bigger picture right now. Ben Dror Yemini, stay with us. We're stepping out for just a short break here, 2 minutes. We'll be back on this subject in depth here. So we are stepping out just 2 minutes, so on Zoom in. We'll be, again, right back with Ben Dror Yemini, much more on the flag march and other stories, so we'll see you there.
Imagine being able to see into the future.
What innovations will change the world as we know it? Join us as we meet the people changing our planet and discover the inventions shaping tomorrow.
Israel Business Beat, Sundays and Wednesdays, 9:30 p.m. GMT.
We're on the inside of political and religious passions in Jerusalem, breaking down the financial trends shaping the global economy, giving you key context, not just headlines. With the stories from Israel that touch the U.S. and those across the region with impact far beyond its borders. Sunday to Thursday on I-24 News. Catch the rundown, where the Middle East meets the world.
IT Center is an IT software and consulting company that develops and supplies communication and security solutions for the service provider industry. Voices is our unified communications collection of products with a groundbreaking hybrid architecture that grants flexibility and virtually unlimited control. From standard maintenance and support to specialized consulting, our offer can be customized to serve any size of organization. Working with us brings efficiency to all your communications. Every day, everywhere, everything connected.
Participate in the biggest tech and startup event in Europe. Follow international conferences with world-renowned speakers. Boost your business and generate 25% of your annual leads in just 4 days. Discover the latest technological innovations with positive impacts for businesses, the environment, and for society. Let's meet in Paris in June.
Thanks for staying with us. Continuing on Zoom In, and still joined by Ben Dror Yemini, a senior journalist here from Yedioth Ahronot. As we continue to look at the flag march, there's a few things I want to unpack. There was a juxtaposition I felt, feeling proud, honestly, the display of patriotism, of Zionism on display here, but left questioning if it was just somehow provocative, if perhaps it was even meant more for the other than for ourselves. How important is it, Ben Dror, to maintain these symbols of nationalist display? I mean, is it a symbol of strength or weakness for Israel?
Yeah, we can always blame ourselves and say that maybe this is not what we need. Maybe it is provocative. But let's assume that we are doing nothing, that there is not any march. Nobody is waving with the Israeli flag. Will it change something? That's what I'm asking. Will it change something? No, it will not change, because what we see is just that the Mufti of today is following the steps of the Mufti of 100 years ago, and of Hajj Amin al-Husseini. I mean, he is speaking against Jews, not against Zionists, not against Israelis, but against Jews. And those calls to kill all Jews, and I mean, it has nothing to do with this kind of march. And some parts of the march, I have to admit, I don't like. Yeah. I don't like some parts of this march. I mean, because yes, we know hooligans are taking part, hooligans are coming, and we can see the pictures, which I don't like.
Sure, there's that.
But the story, the story, I mean, as a Jew and as an Israeli, it's a shame that we have this kind of, I don't know how many, 2%, 3%. Yeah. But they have a presence in this kind of.
It felt like a mistake places. Yesterday. They separated the routes for men and women. We're left to question if women had been present with the men, if there had been a little less hooliganism present there. Maybe a debate for another time. But politically, and I want to get your thoughts on this too. This event clearly served the far right yesterday. We saw, I would argue, it even highlighted its rise politically on the landscape. Is that true? Are you sensing that?
In a way, yes. But from the other hand, we can remember that exactly a year ago, it was Benjamin Netanyahu, who was a prime minister, who changed the route of the march, because he did not. He did not want the people to march through the Islamic quarter. So he changed it. I mean, and yesterday it took the regular route, just like every year in the last 40 years. So in a way, maybe it will empower Naftali Bennett, because look, he took a decision that even Netanyahu did not take under the circumstances. And he did it. And yes, there were, of course, this kind of clashes that we see, but it was much less than last year, much less, not much more. So yes, Israel has to show, yes, we are here not in order to evacuate the place. We are here to stay, and we want any kind of settlement. I mean, let's remember, it was Israel who offered the Palestinians the partition of Jerusalem. You want the Muslim quarter? Take it. It's going to be yours, part of your capital. And we know the answer. The answer was, no, we do not take it.
Yeah.
So they refused.
Involved in the Israeli portion. Yeah, of course. But I appreciate you bringing
we cannot forget those basic answers.
You bring the long arc of perspective to us. Love getting your thoughts on these issues, especially in light of this week. So many people, I think, around the country questioning how to feel around these type of events. Ben Dror Yemini, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.